We're on. Look at that. Well, here we are again, one more time. Is this going to be the last time? No, probably not. I've been thinking about a lot of things lately. Actually, it boils down to the same thing, really. Things that really bother me about all this. All the hoopla that goes on. Anyway, I want to talk about my dad. And I want to talk about the six-string bass and that miserable article that was in Bass Player magazine. But before we do that, my friend Dave O'Connor is here, and we're making Dave a rainbow bass. He put this word in about 10,000 years ago, and it now is a block of wood. Oh no, it's actually gone there, but we have this, right? There's the neck for it anyway. Yeah, it's almost there. And before we start anything else, I think Pete was already, when Dave came in, he said that he had the body already to put the neck joint in. And I thought since we were doing some filming today, we might as well just show you a little bit of that, you know, and how we put the neck joint, how we make the pocket for the neck. Yeah, we can put it on pause and just relocate the camera, Pete, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. You know we're ready.
You're on.
Come on, we're on again. Take a shot at Pete with his yellow ears. Every time he starts working on these things, he gets these yellow ears out. Anyway, this is Dave's rainbow 4-string coming up. Every time I see this and the way we make the neck joint now, I think about that first bass over there. Well, you guys all seen that. The way we make the neck joint today is a whole lot different than the way I made that one, that's for sure. Like I told you guys 1,000 times, I was not a woodworker. I kind of learned to work with wood as I went along, but when I made that first bass, I certainly didn't do it like this. But Pete and I and Kelvin and all the people who came through the years, we all agreed that had I been a woodworker, had I been a real woodworker and knew about how to set up routers correctly and a cutter with a bearing on it and all that kind of stuff, a lot of things on the bases probably wouldn't have happened because I would have done it all right in the first place. I wouldn't have made all those mistakes and created the heel block and the stripes down the side of the neck and a whole bunch of other stuff came because I really didn't know what I was doing. You know, I mean, I had an idea. I could see a picture in my head about what I wanted, but getting that picture here was hard. But what I used to do is I'd cut out the body, and I'd have the neck, and I would lay the neck on the body and figure out where I wanted it to be, and then I would clamp it with a little wooden clamp over there, those cam clamps that you snap right on. I did that, and I would hold it like that with the clamp on it to see how it felt. Felt pretty good. I put it back down on the bench, and I clamped it. Again, I made sure that the neck was on it nice and solid, and I would take a scribe and go all the way around it like that. And then take a router with no bearing on it. See this little bearing here? This is going to follow this pattern here. The router I had, I didn't know anything about that kind of stuff. I was just trying to take the wood out. So I had a regular router bit, went in there and took as much wood as I could, maybe a 1/16 inch. I'd leave like that much in, and then I went in with a chisel and cleaned it up. Yeah. And a lot of times in the beginning, it wasn't very clean, and I had to really screw around. But guys like Pete and Kelvin, people like the first thing they would have done was exactly what they're doing here, you know. You center line, you put the bars down, get everything all centered. You take a router with a bit, and this bearing here is going to follow these boards, so there's no chance of anything going wrong. And that's enough talk. We just let Pete do it. I won't do the whole thing because it's going to get kind of noisy in here. But I just want to show you. You can do just do the whole first cut, Pete. Okay? Then we'll film the whole first cut. Yeah? Okay. Pete Hilton, and now presenting Pete Hilton. Yay! We're still on, right, Dave?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the first one. What'd you do, Pete? About 1/8 of an inch?
Yeah, just an eighth of an inch.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. When you do anything like this, you want to take it out a little bit at a time. You go in there and try to take the whole thing out in one shot. You're going to be in big trouble. Anyway, that's what it is, and Pete's going to readjust the cutter, move it down a little bit, get a little deeper, and we'll go down what, maybe, how far down are we going to go in this one?
15/16.
15/16, yeah. So this is only 1/8 of an inch right now. So we're not going to do that right now. We're going to talk some more about other stuff. And when he gets all that done, we get down to the depth. Then we take a hand chisel, and we just take out the little corners because this, the cutter's round, so the corners right in here, you're always going to see that little piece of wood on both of the corners. And that we'll take out with a chisel. And then it'll be a perfect neck joint. And like I said, it's a far cry from the way when I first started. And how stupid I was. You know, I actually put the fingerboard on the neck after I shaped the neck. I shaped the neck and then I put the fingerboard on. I mean, you know.
Had to start somewhere.
Huh?
I had to start somewhere.
Pete always says that. You gotta start somewhere. I mean, what I had was an idea. I was just trying to do it. I knew somebody had to do it because what was out there wasn't happening. Everything's in the wrong place. And quite truthfully, a whole bunch of people out there calling themselves luthiers extraordinaire, craftsmen, geniuses, and all kinds of stuff. And my suggestion for most of them would be to get a roller and learn how to use it. Quit talking about tone woods and quit talking about pickups. And if you use this kind of wood, you'll get this. And if you use that, you'll get this. And if you do this, you'll get that. Get a ruler. Put things in the right place. That's much more important. Because all that other stuff is just somebody's opinion. You know. Anyway, I wanted to make a series of things that I think I told Pep Shelton, I know Dave's heard this before too. I don't know how many of you people out there know this. This may come as a surprise to a lot of young people anyway. George Washington did not have a cell phone. Now, I know that sounds funny, but I truly believe there's probably, it might be a whole bunch of people out there who don't even know who George Washington was. I don't know. But I'm sure a lot of people don't know they didn't have a cell phone. And that's basically what I'm going to talk about. You know what? Do you want to pause and put that thing back on the?
Sure.
Let's do that, okay?